And now for a Next News special report.
Got some breaking news, Patriots. A sinister plot is unfolding right under our noses. George Soros, the liberal puppet master, is making moves that could silence conservative voices across America's airwaves. We're talking about a potential media takeover that threatens the very foundation of free speech. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned for my earth-shattering final thought. It's a wake-up call you cannot afford to miss. This is Gary Franchi, and you're watching the Next News Network. Now, folks, as we dive into this alarming story about Soros' radio takeover, it reminds me of another threat to our freedom, the weakening U.S. dollar. Just like how Soros is trying to control the airwaves, our government's reckless spending is eroding our financial independence. But there is a way to protect yourself. Gold has surpassed $2,400 an ounce in this year, and it's not getting more expensive. Our dollar's getting weaker. That's why I trust Global Gold Investments. Call that number on the screen, 888-700-4148 now, and mention Next News Network for their 5-star treatment. They're offering a free portfolio analysis and their 2024 Insure Your Money Guide. Don't wait. Call 888-700-4148 today. Now let's get right into it. George Soros, the billionaire known for bankrolling liberal causes, is now eyeing a takeover of Audacy, America's second largest radio network. We're talking about 220 stations across 40 markets, reaching a whopping 165 million listeners monthly. But here's the kicker. This is not just about business, it's about control. Soros pumped $400 million into Audacy this February. Now you might think, so what? Well, Audacy carries shows from conservative heavyweights like Sean Hannity, Dana Loesch, Mark Levin. But now, under Soros' thumb, how long do you think that they're going to last? So don't just take my word for it. FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr sat down with Dana Loesch to break it down. Watch.
So we've been talking about this whole Soros Audacy, $400 million into Audacy last February. I'm just going to come right out with it. Are we all going to get kicked off air?
Yeah, look, as you indicated, this is a buy by the Soros-linked group who purchased something like 220 local radio stations across 40 markets, including a number of stations that carry your show in Florida, in Virginia, in Texas. And once this new ownership group backed by Soros comes in, then yes, they have complete control over who goes on the air. And I'd be very surprised at the end of the day if you and other conservative voices like Sean Hannity that are on many of these stations end up staying there over the long run. It would be surprising to me.
First it was states' attorneys, now it is radio waves. You heard it straight from the Commissioner Carr. When Soros takes control, conservative voices could be silenced faster than you can say First Amendment. But wait, there's more. Soros is not just targeting English language radio. Last year, his group snatched up 18 Hispanic radio stations, including the conservative powerhouse Radio Mambi. Jorge Bonilla from the MRC Latino didn't mince words about what's really going on here. Watch.
It's a liberal takeover of conservative voices. A group linked to billionaire George Soros is making a $60 million deal to buy 18 Hispanic radio stations across the U.S.
This is about power. This is about control. This is not about free speech. This is not about disinformation. This is about controlling the flow of information to a specific community for political purposes. And that is what makes this deal, I think, so controversial.
He nailed it. This is not about free speech or fighting disinformation. It's about controlling what you hear, especially with a 2024 election on the horizon. Now, here's where it gets even shadier. Soros needs the FCC to help pull this off. Why? Because the money for this deal is coming from abroad, and FCC rules cap foreign ownership of U.S. radio stations at 25%. But Soros is asking for a special exception. And guess what? The Democrat-controlled FCC might just give it to him. Commissioner Carr is raising red flags, saying the FCC shouldn't create a special Soros shortcut, and he's right. A deal this big needs a full review, not a rubber stamp. We've seen this playbook before. Remember what happened to Radio Mambi after Soros got his hands on it? Lourdes Ubita, a former host there, told us that they gutted all the hard-hitting political content. It went from being a bastion of anti-communist sentiment to a watered-down shadow of its former self. So make no mistake, folks, this is about more than just radio stations. It's about controlling the narrative, shaping public opinion, and potentially influencing the outcome of the 2024 election. If Soros succeeds, we could see a domino effect across the media landscape. Conservative voices drowned out, replaced by a chorus of left-wing talking points. Is this the America we want to live in? If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. Listen up, America. This Soros radio takeover isn't just about silencing conservatives. It's an assault on our republic's foundation. Free speech means all voices, even those we disagree with, should be heard. When one billionaire can potentially control what millions hear, we are in dangerous territory. This isn't left versus right anymore. It's about preserving our freedom to think and decide for ourselves. Don't let anyone, regardless of their political leaning, monopolize our airwaves. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, keep thinking for yourself.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.